Okay, so basically, yeah, I just wanted to present this kind of like side project I did with my sister that was kind of fun. So just something I wanted to share. Um, so at one point, basically my sister excitedly, announced, sent me a message saying that she had, actually finally, caught this, shiny Pokemon, and she sent me this video over here, and it doesn't have any sound. So just look at it, try to see like what is happening here. So okay, so we see like some like console, we see like this game console is Arduino, and it's showing like this kind of Pokemon there on the screen, right? So what did we see? So it's a bunch of pictures on a computer. We see like the console says message from Arduino. It's shiny. We see like this contraption with a video game console in there in a box or something. We see like this Arduino board, and we see this like screen at the end that basically is what she was showing me that she actually found it. So how did this come to be basically? So at one point, basically, I went back home and to visit, my family, my sister, and she was playing this game called Pokémon Ultra Moon, where you go on adventures, you capture Pokemon, you participate in battles with them. And basically, she was looking. She also likes YouTube, so she found this video of someone who had made like a bot that captures, shiny Pokemon. And she like asked me, can we make a shiny Pokemon bot? And of course, I was like shocked because I didn't know what she was talking about, and also like that she would ask me, to do work on a project. So I was excited. So, but I didn't know anything. So I looked it up. So basically, a shiny Pokemon apparently is like this. Pokemon, it's like, for each Pokemon, you can have like a shiny variety, which has a different color. It's super rare, so it only appears 1 in 4,096 times. And you can, have bragging rights because you can tell your friends, like, oh, yeah, I got this shiny Pokemon, and it's super cool, right? So basically, we just wanted to get specifically the shiny Rowlet over here, and which is one of the starter Pokemon you can get. So basically, then I learned about how does one get one? Kind of like normally you would just get it by chance, and then if you don't get it, that's fine. But okay, but if you really want to get it, there's this reset method, which basically you just start the game. You in a certain part of the game you trigger this cutscene where you get your first Pokemon, right? So you need to skip through a lot of dialogue, and then basically you choose the Pokemon and then you see it. And in this final screen, not even in the animation or anything, just in this final screen, when you see, do you want to give it a nickname, then you can see if it's orange color, which means it's not shiny, or it's blue color, which means it's shiny. So basically, what do? We go here, we reset the console, and we do it again and again until we finally find a shiny Pokemon, which you normally wouldn't do by hand, of course, but if we can automate it, like that'd be interesting, because at 2.5 minutes per reset cycle, we would need to run it 4,096 times up in expectation. So we would basically take a bit more than a week to find it, but basically it will be done by a machine, so we wouldn't get bored with it. So that seemed doable. So basically, of course we created a design document, and we got some supplies in the arts and crafts store, and we got some electronic components in this street that just had a bunch of stores with electronics components. So what did we do? We grabbed this like foam sheets to protect the console. We had some balsa wood just because it's easy to cut, and we made a base. We got some servo motors to press the buttons, to skip through the dialogue and to be able to reset the console. We needed to be able to press those buttons. And if you see here on the on the right, we actually attached a webcam that we had lying around in the house into this balsa wood just facing the camera. And we put all of this contraption within a box so that it would not get light from outside, so that it would have a consistent lighting, and we could find that shiny Pokemon effectively. And so then we wired the Arduino, and of course we didn't have much experience with electronics, so we kind of like took an example from the Arduino starter kit and we kind of modified it. I have no idea if we used the correct number of capacitors or whatnot, but it seemed to work. The only problem is we were just like stumped at one point, because the motor, whenever we just started it, it was just randomly moved to a certain angle, a certain position, and like randomly, and we had no idea what was happening. So there was a big blocker. It turned out that basically there's this pin number 13 that is also connected to this light. Like there's an indicator light that tells you, when there's data transmitting to the Arduino. And so whenever you connect to pin 13, actually, whenever that light turns on, it actually also transmits data to the servo. So we ended up like, so that was what the problem. So we just moved to these other pins, and that worked out. And so basically, yeah, you can see that, now we have the game console, and you see the little motor is moving to press the A button whenever there's a dialogue, and then this happens until we get to the actual point where we we start, we do keep on passing through the dialogue. You see the motor until we actually get to the screen where you get the Rowlet. So once we got there, we were able to get that. We needed to make sure to stop this contraption once we got the shiny Pokemon, right? Otherwise, if we reset, then we lost it. So what we need to do is detect if it's not shiny or shiny. And as you might guess, we don't really need like a convolutional neural network, pre-trained on ImageNet for this. It's just like colors. So we can just do like some feature engineering. So this is what we ended up doing. First, we blur the image because if you see here, we get these subpixels. They cause a lot of like different colors here. So what we ended to we blur a little bit just to make it more uniform. Then we turn the color from a red, green, blue into a hue saturation value color space so that we can get the hue. It's like isolate the hue itself. And then we do a threshold based on the hue. So we just get the bluish colors to detect if the Pokemon is blue or it's orange. And so then we face the issue of how do we actually detect if it's blue if if it appears with 4096 chance and we haven't seen it. So what we did is we found images on the internet. So basically, we use these as kind of like test cases to determine what is a good range, across these different color like variants or like different lightings and so on. And so basically, we determine this is like a good range that will capture it, but will not give too many false positives. And so here you can see it in action. We can see that if it's not shiny, we see it thresholded as like a black, and here we can see it as thresholded as white. Basically, it detected the blue color. And so after we finished building it, we had to wait for it to actually run. So as you know, it takes more than a week to find it. So it was like just waiting. It was just running day and night. My mom thought there was like a burglar or something downstairs, but it was just like this thing that was running. So troubleshooting, because we used the balsa wood, it actually contracted and like that messed up the button. So we had to fix it and so on. And after a week and a half, we were like, oh, will this even work? We were considering the probabilities, the expected values, and it was like, oh, I guess technically it could run forever, kind of like you might toss a Kona and never get heads technically. So we were like doubting. But in any case, so I left to the US because my vacation ended, and then basically my sister ended up driving the project to completion. I did some technical support, I guess, but so I guess that was a good opportunity there as well for her to learn a little bit more about the programming and stuff. And so eventually, one day, basically, it actually got the Pokemon, and so this all came to fruition, and basically, yeah, she finally got this Pokemon that she had wanted so much.